What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of George Kambosos Jr. versus Devin Haney, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the undisputed WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF Lightweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, June 4th, from the Marvel Stadium in Melbourne, Australia, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or on the ESPN app. And to get into both fighters' resumes, George Kambosos Jr., fighting out of Australia, holds a record of 20 wins with no defeats and 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 2 by BoxRec in the lightweight division, and he's also the current WBC Franchise, WBA, WBO, and IBF lightweight world champion. And to list some of his best victories, he has a split decision win over Mickey Bay, a split decision victory over Lee Selby, and he is coming off the best victory of his career thus far, which was a split decision win over Teofimo Lopez. And to get into his opponent's resume, Devin Haney, fighting out of the United States, holds a record of 27 wins with no defeats and 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 4 by BoxRec in the lightweight division. He's also the current WBC lightweight world champion. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Antonio Moran, a knockout win over Zaur Abdulayev, a unanimous decision victory over Alfredo Santiago, a unanimous decision win over Yuriorkis Gamboa. He also has a unanimous decision win over Jorge Linares, and he's coming off a unanimous decision victory over Joseph Diaz Jr. And in my opinion, this fight is one of the best fights that could be made today. And yet again, we're going to see another undisputed world champion. Just a few weeks ago, we got to see Jermell Charlo become undisputed. Here, we might be able to see another undisputed champ. So, finally in boxing, we're getting to see the big fights being made. We got to see, obviously, Charlo versus Castano. Hopefully, we're going to be able to see a big fight in the welterweight division between like Crawford and Spence, and finally here we're getting Kambosos versus Haney, which is a massive fight. I would have liked to see Kambosos face anyone in the lightweight division that isn't inside the top 3, like Lomachenko, Haney, whatever, like someone like that, like a really big fight. So George Kambosos. He actually did struggle to to make weight for this fight. At first, he weighed in a couple of ounces over. Then obviously re-weighted and fine. But that could show maybe that he wasn't working as hard in the gym. Obviously, as before, he's definitely a bit more cocky, or a lot more really just confident in his own favor, obviously, for this fight compared to when he fought Teofimo. When he fought Teofimo, he was just much more of a big underdog, and Teofimo was the one talking a bunch of stuff. And, really, Kambosos came in there and put on a masterful performance as the heavy underdog, and that was my upset of the year. But, now he's coming in brash, like wearing the flashy outfits with the glasses, like all stuff like that. Really, it seemed like he's just full of himself. And maybe he's just a bit too cocky, as like Haney is going into this fight knowing this is the biggest opportunity of his life, and he's got to make do with it and got to get the victory here. And Haney, I know he's had a couple flat performances, like when he fought Linares, where he got hurt late. But I don't think Kambosos, even though Linares is old, has that power. But he had a couple flat performances, but I do think that here we will see Haney rise to the occasion and get the victory. Kambosos, I know when he fought Lee Selby, it was very close, competitive. Same with Mickey Bay, but against Teofimo Lopez, he also rose to the occasion and got the win. So I think that Haney will really have a Kambosos performance and beat Kambosos. Like, he will have a Kambosos performance like when Kambosos fought Lopez and get the solid victory. But obviously, this fight is definitely much closer on the odds than when Kambosos fought Teofimo. So, I see Devin Haney becoming the undisputed world champion in this fight. I see him getting the victory, and I see this fight being very competitive. But I know many people are picking split decision, majority decision. I'm picking Haney to win by a unanimous decision. And just to break this fight down, I really see Kambosos actually being the one coming forward. I know against Teofimo he was boxing a bit more and counterpunching. He might try that against Haney, but Haney is really going to be composed and fight really the best fight of his life. I think we will see Haney on the outside being better, more defensively than ever. I think we will see Haney really boxing and being faster and just better than we've ever seen. I think we will see Haney just fight 10 times better than we've ever seen before and get a very solid win and become the undisputed champion. But as for Kambosos, as I mentioned before, he's a bit more cocky, so I think he might come forward and really try and drop Haney and really just try and go for it, as opposed to like when he fought Teofimo, he was much more composed, very skillful, very like as I mentioned before, he's just so poised in there, very comfortable. But in this fight, I think he's going to be a bit more brash and really just come out there and really try and go for it. But Haney, I think, will be the one who's a bit more composed in there and really just know what's at stake and really try and get that victory. Obviously, Kambosos is going to be obviously trying to win, but I think that Haney will have a bit more dog in him, and it will lead to him getting a close decision win. So how I see this fight going down round by round, I think early on it will be a chess match. Like in the first 4 rounds, it could be 38-38, maybe 39-37 Haney. Like it really could be a close first 4 rounds where both fighters are really figuring each other out. We could see both fighters trying to box on the outside, maybe landing a couple combinations here and there, but I think it will be a very close first 4 rounds. But then once the like from rounds like 5 to rounds like 8, I see Haney finding a bit more openings, boxing a bit more, and I see Kambosos getting a bit more frustrated, maybe trying to come forward a bit, but really trying to press the fight as opposed to Haney, which I think will be more on the counter-punching stage in this fight and really just trying to box. And I know Kambosos, as I mentioned before, is primarily a counter-puncher, but I think here, against someone with less power, unlike Teofimo Lopez, I think he will be coming forward a bit more in this fight and a bit more confident, obviously. But then later on, like from rounds like 9 to rounds 12, I see Kambosos maybe stealing around here or there, making it a bit more competitive, because Haney has shown in his last couple fights that he does not look too well late. Even against Jojo Diaz, he didn't look too solid late. He lost a couple of later rounds against Linares. He got hurt late and lost at least the last 5. So I think that we could see Kambosos steal a couple of those later rounds. But ultimately, I think the middle rounds will give Haney enough leverage to win the fight on points. And I think that the judges will score this bout 116-112 twice and 115-113 once. So like I could see Kambosos getting 4 rounds, 5 rounds in there, something like that. Like I see there being a lot of competitive rounds, but I see the judges giving Kambosos like 4 rounds and possibly 5, like somewhere around there. And ultimately, I think Devin Haney will get the close unanimous decision victory. So overall, I believe that Devin Haney will stay unbeaten and will get his 28th victory and the best victory of his career thus far, as I think he will get a unanimous decision win over George Kambosos Jr. to become the undisputed lightweight world champion. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.